What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfella back with the Boxing Clinic, hitting y'all ass up with another one, another video. Shout out to everybody, the haters and everybody else who has something to say. But if you think you're gonna agree with somebody with every time, you're not gonna agree with me every time. I look at things from a different point of angle, different point of view. Excuse me. And we're not always gonna agree, and that's not healthy. It's good to clash and debate, but just keep it clean. Once you come with that racist shit, then I gotta get all grizzly and grimy on your ass. But one time for the one time, we back. Luis Ortiz actually had some unique comments on the Anthony Joshua fight, basically saying that he took it as a sign of weakness when Anthony Joshua called out Tyson Fury, who was 100 pounds overweight right now, and didn't call out Luis Ortiz. That's one of the comments that he made. He goes on to say, I'm paraphrasing, that he's more confident than ever after watching Anthony Joshua get knocked down with just one punch. He said he had KO'd Joshua in 8 rounds. That's what Luis Ortiz said. He said that basically Klitschko let him off the hook. He had a dead man in front of him for 8 rounds. He said if you look at it, when they stopped the fight after the last knockdown, Klitschko was standing on his feet, Ortiz goes on to say that Joshua wasn't landing any punches. He was winded. And if they wouldn't have stopped that fight, he was out on his feet again as a dead man without being able to throw no punches. He was dead again, and Klitschko could have really finished him off if he had anything left in the tank. And he was an interesting spectator for everybody who's really missing the point that he is the mandatory to Anthony Joshua WBA belt. He goes on to say that, like I said, I'm paraphrasing, that Eddie Hearns is never going to let him fight Luis Ortiz. He's going to protect his cash cow. He said he took it as a sign of weakness. He didn't even mention his name when he's the mandatory. And he said that's fight. He probably believes that fight's never going to happen. I'm just jumping to conclusion here. He probably thinking Joshua's going to drop that WBA belt, or how funny relationship that promoters and belt sanctioning bodies have. He probably thinks Eddie Hearns going to pay the belt sanction not to sanction that fight. And Ortiz, who's 38 years old, is really need to be pressing for time to get Joshua in the ring. Because if he don't get him in the ring anytime soon, he lets Joshua off the hook, or Joshua gets off the hook, it could be a wrap. It could be a real wrap on his career when he get 40. Even though he probably doesn't have that wear and tear, it could be over with. But at the same time, I feel confident that Luis Ortiz can beat Anthony Joshua. I don't know about his chin. And I think he's a one-handed fighter, but I think he's a very skilled fighter. And his movement and his athletic ability and his power, I think he can be one of those guys that can get in and get out and do a lot of movement that Klitschko was trying. But I think Luis Ortiz is more fluent. I think his in and out movement, his side-to-side movement, and I think he's going to pull the trigger. Period. And if he does pull the trigger, he's either gonna get knocked out or he's gonna do the knocking out. And we don't know where Ortiz's chin and heart is at this point in his career, but he's a big guy. He's about 6'3", 6'4", 230 pounds, 40 pounds, and he's big and athletic. He can go, and I can see him beating Anthony Joshua. Like I said, Anthony Joshua is not indestructible. Neither is any heavyweight in the sport of boxing. Like I told some guys in the boxing group RBTA yesterday, I wouldn't bet a dime on or a penny on any of these heavyweights. All of them is vulnerable. The only thing that makes the heavyweight division interesting now is that these guys are bigger and they're athletic and they're more balanced and they're more fluent now. Back when Klitschko was fighting, they was either big and they couldn't move and they couldn't have any athletic ability, they didn't have any skill, or they were too small and they had athletic ability skills. They couldn't reach Klitschko. So now they're getting bigger and they can move and box and they're fluent. Now it's an issue. You know what I mean? Now it's an issue. And like I said, Ortiz, if he doesn't get this Joshua shot, I think it's going to be carnage on his career, because they're going to really hang him out to dry. And Wilder probably ain't trying to fight him no time soon. He's just Tyson Fury, and those are the only 3 names that really matter in the sport of boxing in the heavyweight division right now. But like I said, Joshua didn't call out Wilder, and Wilder been calling him out for 8 months now, about 8 months now. Luis Ortiz is mandatory. He didn't mention him, so that's just, like I said. Eddie Hearns wants to push him as the biggest star in the sport of boxing. Absolutely not. When Floyd Mayweather became a star, it didn't just, oh, he's a star. Everybody just said, oh, he's a star. Nobody really artificially manufactured it. It just happens. People say, "Oh, that's the guy." You know what I mean? You know, nobody's. You know, the promoter doesn't scream it in your face. You know, we start seeing one more commercial. We start seeing you do late night shows. We start seeing you everywhere, and that's how you will start. And he's a star probably over there, the biggest Floyd Mayweather, but over here he's not a star. And at the end of the day, it's something that you can't artificially push on people. Of course, the hardcore fans and the dick riders gonna say, "Oh, he's a star, yeah, like Golovkin." He's nobody, but it's the casual fans that don't watch the sport that make the sport so popular. You know, the minority fans that might pop in and watch a big fight here and there, and that's what makes the sport more popular. But look out for the Canelo Chavez Jr. Fight video, prediction video coming. We gone.